Coming up, I ordered dozens of transforming toys from eBay. I unbox a really cool item that I've actually wanted for a really long time. I repeatedly embarrassed myself trying to transform 40-year-old toys, but all in all, we have a great time looking back on these excellent pieces of metal and plastic. And I also might just make an absolute complete fool of myself. Bumblebee.
You sure about that?
Okay, so let's get started with this first box. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, we got a little red cement truck here. He's pretty cool looking. So, as I said, I don't know the Gobots very much. When I was a kid, the Gobots were just, also Transformers, periphery Transformers, and that's how they worked in my play. But we're giving them some love today, so we're going to figure out who all these guys are and add them to collection and add them to, the last package I'm going to open today, which I'm super excited about. But okay, so this is our first guy here. Okay. We got a really cool helicopter here, it looks like. Interesting bit of tan and blue. That's an interesting... it almost looks like he's been repaired with, parts from a spare blue helicopter or something. But he's still really cool. I'm not going to try to transform any of these guys yet, although they, I'm sure they're not too complex. But for now, we're just opening them up, and we'll take a quicker look at them, or, a better look at them a little later. There we go. All right, let's see. I got a little sports car here. Also probably a GoBot. And like I say, we're going to identify all of them. So we're going to unbox them first, take a look at them. And like I say, I won't know any of these for sure if they're GoBots or Zybots or something else. But look at the back tires on this guy. Are these OEM? Are these aftermarket? What are these? These are crazy. Look at this guy. He's pretty cool. All right. All right. This is awesome. I love jets. I always love jets. And this guy just looks incredible. Look at this. How cool is that? Kind of free from stickers. I wonder if he originally came with stickers, but still really cool. I'm loving these so far. They feel different too. I don't know exactly what it is, but they definitely feel different, and I like them. Let's see. That's a big guy here. Okay. We have a huge tank here. You can see there. This is obviously, I know the GoBots did come in different sizes, and if this is in fact a GoBot, it's a larger size, and we'll figure out what he is soon. But right now he's just a massive tank, and again, he just looks really cool. I'm telling you, I think I missed out. These guys are awesome. Okay, and we do have some pieces coming out. My wild guess is this might have gone here. Perhaps. I guess we'll find out. Next guy here is kind of like a tunnel builder, a drill of some kind. He's really cool looking. It's really cool. This is the first box, and I'm not sure what my ultimate plans are, but I do plan to give really nice, good close-up looks of all these guys, because we are celebrating the Transformers alternatives. We are celebrating the other guys in this video, the Gobots, Zybots, and whatever else we might find, because they were awesome too, and they need love, and that's what we're doing. So there's that guy. Okay, this is a piece from someone. Piece of a car there. We'll see if the rest of it's in the bag. Okay. Another jet here of some kind. Airplane. This guy seems, let's see. Does that look right? This guy's kind of weird looking. Oh, kind of like a glider more so than, I don't know. We're gonna have to look him up, but he's pretty cool. I'm not even sure if all the pieces are there or if he's converted the right way, but we'll figure that out. But he's awesome. Okay, here's the rest of the car. Oh, it's a police car. Okay. So, a little bit of damage on that guy. But we can fix him right up. Or not. We can just leave that like that. Display him just fine, right? But we'll see. We'll see if we can't repair him eventually. Submarine. I've seen this guy before, and he's really cool. But man, he feels flimsy. This guy feels really flimsy. But yep. That makes sense. Gonna have to. Whoop! I gotta stop hitting the microphone. But that's gotta get a. Yeah, I don't know about this guy. He looks really cool though. Maybe we can fix him. Oh, this must go with the tank somewhere. Maybe like that. Maybe. Pretty cool. I don't know. We'll check it out. What else? Okay, more parts for this guy, I'm assuming. Look, some kid had a lot of fun with these. So I'm glad, I'm okay with them being broken because that means they were played with, and that was the whole point, to spark the imagination. Some young boy or girl had a good time with this, and, you know, it shows. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, another, oh, here we go. Oh, Kuntak. What? Kuntak? Oh my god, I'm gonna sound like Kuntak, right? Lambo. Am I pronouncing that right? This Insta360 will not autofocus. It's making a good cam for this particular situation, but like I said, I will have better close-ups of all these guys. Kuntak, I believe. I'm probably getting that way wrong, and I might just dub right over it so I don't sound super stupid. But anyway, that's cool. And it looks like there's a little part in here, a few parts, a few bits and bops. We'll figure out where those go. And also, we'll get them all together once we get to the identifying process. But anyway, this is the first box, and so far so good. These guys are cool. So we're gonna move on to box number 2. Okay, box number 2 is, whoops, not a box. My bad. Because I already took it out of the box, but I stopped there in this ridiculous bubble wrap they've got these all sealed up in. So let's free them. Okay, here we go. Another one. Got them all shoved in a bag. And that's okay. All right, let's see. Okay, here's another one I've seen before. This is the back. Well, first off, we remember RPM2 from the first video. I think I'm going to end up with several of these guys. I have 2 already. One in the box, one on its own, but broken. So here's another one, not seeming broken, but we know this one. That's RPM2. We love him. Now we have the back of a tractor trailer, I'm assuming, with no bottom, which is kind of weird, but we'll see what else we find in here. Okay, this also seems very much like, it's hard to tell if this one is completed. Well, I guess he is. That's pretty much the robot, so it's sort of a, I'll be interested to see if this is actually a GoBot or something else, because this guy is pretty generic bit of construction equipment right there, but I mean, he's cool. I like the vivid red, yellow color scheme there, but otherwise he's kind of plain. I don't know if he's missing something or some stickers or something, but anyway, we'll track him down. Okay, we have another blue torque here. Remember him from the first video I did. Awesome. You know, can't have too many, right? I guess you can. Another helicopter. Missing some parts. A lot of these are going to be sort of, you know, broken and missing parts, right? But, you know, that's fine. Helicopter man here. Maybe that piece is in there somewhere. All right, Wrecker. I believe that is also his name. He's got it right on the side there. He's got some big. This gives real like Tonka truck vibes. You guys remember Tonka trucks back in the day? That's what this feels like. But that's very much got to be a GoBot. That feels very, but maybe not. But that feels very GoBot-y. Those stickers, those colors, that just seems like a GoBot. But also, it feels more plasticky. So I don't know. We'll find out. Here's another slightly larger one. It looks like. Oh well, first off, okay, that's why it's that's why there's no bottom to this. Because here's the other part of the truck. I think. Maybe this is just meant, this would be the back to set down on him, or is this even part of it? It feels like it's part of it. Maybe not. Let's see. Okay, so I don't know. This doesn't seem to fit on this guy. I would assume this is the truck, but maybe maybe it snaps on. That looks odd, though. I don't think that's right. Does that look right to you? I don't know if that's right or not, but anyway. Maybe that went to something else. We'll find out. Last but not least, with the broken wheel here, we've got a Bigfoot-style truck here. He's kind of cool. Just needs a little glue, perhaps, or maybe there was a screw that held that in. Yeah, it looks like it. So anyway, that's that guy. I think that's it. So that is box 2. We'll take a closer look at these guys soon. Let's move on to box 3. So box number 3 is a small one, and I don't think these are GoBots. I think these are Transformers. I think I know exactly what this is. So let's just get him out of the box. Oh wait, no, this is something else. This is actually cool too. This is, oh wait, and now I don't remember if it's a Zybot or a GoBot, but it's a watch. And I believe it would have gone on an armband. But you got 2 little buttons here, and he tells time, and I am going to get a battery for this thing and see if it actually works. But Transformers did this. I think all of them did this. You know, digital watches, Casios back in the day in the 80s were super cool to have, and so everyone, and easy to make. So I think just about every toy probably had a watch version for kids. So that's what this is. So we're going to try and get in there and put a battery in and see if this thing still works. But definitely no watch band, so we could be on the lookout for that. But just making him work, I think, would be really cool. If he still works, we'll try. Okay, so this next box, this must be the one. And these are definitely not GoBots. This is something else. But let's open it up. Oh, wait, wrong again. Okay. See, I ordered something that should be pretty small. And the couple of other boxes I have are pretty big, so I'm confused. But we'll find out. So here oh, look at this guy. Okay, these are cool, though. Well, we got another one of these truck guys. Which is pretty cool. We could have a whole fleet, I guess. And then we have more construction equipment. This may or may not be a bit battered. Yeah, that's just his head sticking out. Maybe that's just how it works. But that's pretty cool. And then look at this guy. Come on. I'm an arachnophobe. But this guy's awesome. I don't know. We got to figure out how to transform him properly, but how creepy awesome is this guy? I got ourselves this big old spider. I'm guessing the arm's probably tucked back in there or something, but we'll figure that out. And finally, we have a really cool looking ship of some kind. That's pretty cool. There. Okay, so that's box whatever that was. Okay, next box. Oh yeah, it's a haul. There we go. Oh gosh. Okay. Are each of these individually wrapped? Are you kidding me? Again, appreciated. And there's even little smiley faces. Isn't that cute? These are some bigger guys. Okay. Look at this. Look at this helicopter. Look how cool that is. It's got some weight to it, too. This guy's hefty. I knew they had larger ones, Gobots, but I don't think I've ever really seen any or handled any. This guy's pretty impressive. He's weighty. He's metal. That's pretty cool. A small one here. This very basic little purple spaceship here. Kind of cool. Let's see. Okay, this is very generic looking. I don't know if this thing even transform. I have no idea what this. What does it say? Tootsie Toy. I don't know what this is. It looks like a knockoff of a knockoff. I don't think it actually transforms other than does that, which is weird. Was this? I have no idea. So we're going to have to find out what this guy is. Hey, look. Truck number 3. Definitely building a fleet. Let's see. Another hefty one here. Okay, oh man, this guy is dirty. He has seen some better days. This is like an insurance thing where you've left it on the side of the road, under a bridge in a bad neighborhood. Look at that. I'm afraid to try and transform this or what might crawl out of if I do. This thing is nasty. Oh man, look at this guy. My cat wants in the room so bad, in case you hear my cat meowing at me. All the tires are gone. He's just filthy. I don't know what this is. It's all metal too. It's like it doesn't feel it doesn't feel like it should transform, but I think it clearly does, although I don't know if it's going to or not. What's that say on the back? Fairfield 2? Maybe? We'll see. We'll get an up close look at this, and we'll find out what this is. But I don't know. I don't know if this Gobot. I don't know what this is. He's hefty though. It's another metal toy, and it clearly wants to transform. But I don't know with all the dirt and stuff in here where we're going to be able to make that happen or not. But there he is. Ugh. Okay. All right, another basic. This looks like this guy goes well with this guy. This must be a series of some kind. Those go well together, and those are cool little spaceships. And these feel nice and plastic and clean. So much better than that. This. Okay. All right, let's see. This is fun. Another beaten up, well played with something. I don't even know if this. I think this is just a straight up toy. I don't think this is a converter of any kind. Well, no, there's a face there, so maybe it is. We'll see. I mean, it looks like a face pops out there. I don't know what this is. Made in Macau. I love this. We're getting so many weird things. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to track all of them down, but I'm going to try. But still, pretty cool. Beaten up. Means it was well played with. No problem with that. Okay. All right. More looks like a forklift here. That's cool. Okay, so this is a forklift. That's awesome. The lift bits are a little cattywampus. I don't want to mess with that too much and mess it up. But that's pretty cool. I wonder if this looks like. Maybe this comes up or down. I don't know. That's pretty cool. Oh, here we go. Like I said, I love jets. Got a U.S. Air Force jet here. F-16. That's pretty cool. Looks very go body. I'm assuming that's what that is. That's awesome. We've got another, not Spacey, but we got another space shuttle here. So Spacey was a Zybot, right? Hope I'm not getting that wrong. Spacey was Spacey a Gobot? So maybe this is a Zybot, or just because I figured they wouldn't have had two space shuttles, so we'll have to clarify that. But another space shuttle. I love the space shuttles. That's pretty cool. Okay. Not Loco, but we have another train. MC Toy. That's pretty cool. It is a converter of some kind. Pretty cool. Another train. Look, that definitely gives Loco vibes, but a little more hefty, a little more to him. So that's pretty cool. I should have a counter for how often I say pretty cool, huh? Okay. Another car with no wheels, but still looks awesome. Rad. Yeah, I think that's the right word for this. Rad, right? Look at this thing. It's got guns on the front. Little spiky grill here, and of course no tires. But I love that orange. It's kind of got like a General Lee all decked out vibe to it. Again, hefty too. Feels more like a Hot Wheels car. That's awesome. Oh, and look here. Another RPM2. I think this will make 4 for me now. Probably don't need all those. Probably gonna have to get back on eBay and pass some of this stuff on, but it's pretty cool. Looks like he's in good shape too. That's fun because I think these break pretty easily, so that's cool. Okay, another. I think we've seen one of these already, right? Yeah, this is this generic construction truck here. Oh my god. Dumper? What is this called? I feel stupid. Anyway. Not yeah, I don't know. I'm anxious to find out what this guy is because he seems so generic. And again, this one also no stickers or anything. So I'm assuming he's a super easy transfer. That's what we love about these guys. Nice, quick, easy transformation. He's cool. There we go. Okay. Last one in this one. There we go. Another cool military helicopter. Look at these. That's pretty cool. That guy looks awesome. I mean, these are a little weird. The big green propellers up here, but I don't know, it's pretty cool. I hear you, cat. I will let you in. Okay, so that's all those. By the way, this one I purchased separately, this guy too. We're throwing him in the mix, but this Bobcat, but I opened him a while back, but he's just been sitting on my desk waiting patiently for all his friends to arrive. So anyway. Okay, so here's the box I was looking for. This is the one that is definitely not Gobots or Zybots. I'm going to open it this way because the label's still there on this one. But give me a second to cut it open. And I am kind of excited about this one. Oh, great. More peanuts. Oh, these are great for packing material, but they're also super annoying. Let's see if we can get these out of here without. Okay. I think that's probably all of them in one, right? Okay, good. Keep the peanuts there. These suck. All right. So this I was excited about, mainly for this guy, Bumblebee.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
G1 Bumblebee. I hope, unless it's, you know, one that came out later. I was always surprised to find out that the original Bumblebee was so tiny. But anyway, there he is. And I picked him up for a later video. So just a note, there's a epic Bumblebee video I have a plan to make in the near future. And that's what he's for. But it came in a lot of 2 more. One of them, I believe, is Swerve. Swerve, most likely, or Was there like a later version that was called Wave or something, the mini bot? I think the name changed. I don't know, but when I looked it up, I think that was the case. But this should be Swerve. I'll double check that though. And this other one was also kind of a mystery. And if you're looking at this and just shouting at the screen saying, dude, that's totally something, I apologize, but I don't recognize this. And it's funny, in the eBay auction, this is what it looked like. They clearly had no chance of getting this thing transformed. I kind of see why. He seems complicated. There's a metal bit on the, it must be missing something. So I think maybe these, let's see. We will have to figure this guy out. I don't want to just break him right now, but something seems off about this. I don't know what it is, but I will get this guy transformed and figure out who he is. And if you're already screaming, saying, oh, that's so-and-so, is he even a transformer? Like, I can't even tell, and my initial search didn't bring anything back, so we'll figure out what this guy is too, but that's what was in that box. Okay, so here's the final box. And yeah, you can see the problem here. I don't really have the space with my current setup to do this justice, but we'll just get it open. So here we go. You already tell what that is? Okay. There are also, I think, a couple more items in the box. They should just be in that bag, hopefully. Well, let's just do this bag first. So in here, we have a few more little guys. I guess they just had them on hand with the big guy. Oh, look, another Loco. That's fun. So we got ourselves another Loco. And what is this? 3 or 4 of this guy? Who is this guy? Imagine if this was like the most obscure, Zybot, Gobot thing that people have desperately been looking for years, and they're each worth $300, and I get like 3 or 4 of them in this thing. That's obviously not true. This is a 50-cent toy, but anyway, now I have like 3 or 4 of them, so can't wait to find out what this guy is. One more. This might also be, okay. Got ourselves a beat up little, I think, looks like a minivan. Here. It's missing a part, but it's just as much fun to have the missed pieces like this, They've been fighting hard. They've lost some parts, but their spirit is strong. So that's the 3 little guys. And you can kind of tell what's in here probably. I'm not sure how to get this out of here. I apologize for all the popping. And that's right, you can see his face there. Oh, we're going to have to cut some stuff here. There we go. The Gobot Command Center. There he is. Let's see if I can need my PC to not be weird. We'll leave it like that. Who cares? So anyway, yes, the Gobot Command Center. I've seen this guy for a long time. Always kind of wanted to pick him up because if we're eventually going to have some sort of Gobot display of some kind, see my OBS there, then we need to have a place to put them, a place to set everything up. So we got this dirty old command center for a pretty cheap price. Feels pretty solid. I don't even know. I've never messed with one of these before, but I think we open up like this. There we go. Parts are already falling off of it. I imagine that's something like that. Yeah. So there he is, the command center. This is where some of our Gobots will eventually reside. Strategy chamber here. Gobot dematerializer. Cool. Interrogation center. Okay, that's where the war crimes happen. You got a cafeteria over here for after you've committed the war crimes and you're famished. An enemy reprogramming center. Okay, cool. Turn them into allies. Nice. So anyway, that's the big one. I was pretty hyped about that. There he is. Isn't he purty? The command center. Okay, now that we've opened everything, we're going to go through and identify all the guys we didn't know, because that was, let's be honest, most of them, at least for me. And if you're a super fan and named every single one of them, awesome. That's awesome. Good job. I don't know these guys, but I'm going to learn them. We're going to respect them, and we're going to put them all together and have a nice little collection of these guys and try and take good care of them, and so we can pass them on down the line at some point. But anyway, that's the unboxing. Let's move on to figuring out what all these guys are. Now that we have opened every single one of these boxes and gone through all of the Gobots, Zybots, whatever else we might have, I've taken the time to do the research, and I've identified most of the items we received. So we're going to kind of go through them really quickly. I know this is already a long video, but we're going to start with the Gobots and the regular Gobots. After that, we'll move on to the differently sized, or, you know, different kinds of Gobots. Then we'll look at the Zybots we received, and then we'll look at the other, and the other is where it gets kind of interesting. But anyway, we'll start with the Gobots. So these are the regular ones that I've tucked inside this nice case that I've actually had for a while. I picked this case up at a toy store a while back just because it's awesome. And, you know, eventually I assumed I would fill it up with some cool Gobots, which I have done now. And so we'll pop that open, and I think I was able to fit most of the regular Gobots that we received into here. So we'll go through them one at a time. Just off screen, I have the list from Transformerland of all the Gobots, and so we'll move through them and we can identify them fairly quickly. We won't spend a lot of time with each, but just so we know, you know, what these are. That was kind of the whole point of this. We'll move through that. So the first one we have here, this guy is called Hans Cuff, or possibly Hans Cuff, right? But since it's a police car, I think, you know, the pun was meant to be on handcuffs, right? So it's Hans Cuff. He's a pretty cool little police car. And this, by the way, this is die cast, which I believe a lot of the Gobots were. So already a little more solid, but also already easy to rip parts off of it. And again, that's kind of what happened with a lot of these. Oh, there we go. They are in general pieces. That is the curse of these older toys. But this is a very basic transformation. We probably won't go through all the transformations for these, but the arms kind of come up and flop down. Look how floppy this guy is. But anyway, that's the general idea. If his leg didn't fall off, there's his kind of robot form. Pretty cool. I like the design. I like the cop car. That's awesome. But yes, he's a little broken. I'll pick that piece up in a minute. But anyway, that's Hans Cuff. So the next one we have here, this guy is called Spoiler. And he was, I believe, a 1984 release. His alliance is Renegade, if that interests you. Again, pop the arms out, swivel the legs down. It's kind of almost exactly the same transformation as Hans Cuff. Kind of, maybe the arms are kind of meant to stay up here a little bit. Yes, these older guys are wobbly. They're going to be wobbly. But what I am also noticing is I do love a lot of the alt modes. There's a lot more options than Transformers, a lot of really cool vehicles. And I imagine if I were a kid at the time, I would have been quite happy with these guys. Maybe even happier than some of the like micro changers and things I would have gotten from Transformers. A lot of cool alt modes. So that's Spoiler. You can figure out why he has the name. Next up, and this is my favorite one of this group here, 100%. This is the one that I had trouble putting together when I first took him out. His name is Tux. He's another 1984 Gobot from the Renegade Alliance. And you can see why he got his name. He's a very fancy vehicle here. A classier Gobot, I assume. That's why he's named Tux. And his transformation's a little more complex, and that's also why it gets kind of goofy really fast. But I mean, for the most part, Same idea, but the legs kind of flop out. And this drops down. And it's just a matter of getting his legs sort of the right direction. And then you need this to slot in here, but this way, I think. There, so that little part needs to kind of slot in there, I think. There we go. And once you've done that, arms come down, and that's the general idea. But up here, this is the tricky part. This is his head, and there's not anything missing. This is his head, but he's kind of trapped down in there, and it's a bit of work. I think actually the arm, yeah, if you push the arms up, that pops the head out. So what you see here, it's purely metal, but he's got a little top hat there, and you can kind of see his eyes. I don't know how much we're going to be able to focus on that, but that's his face, and that's Tux, and I actually love him. I think he's my favorite. What a different type of a fun, different type of alt mode than anything we've seen in Transformers. He's really cool, but again, also the transformation is a little complex. Not too tough, but you know, as they get older, you also get a little nervous about breaking something. The head pops up, and obviously we need to bring this back up, pop the head back down, everything pops back into place, and there you go. That's Tux. He's my favorite. He's awesome. Next up is another red sports car we have here, the guy with the giant wheels. His name is Street Heat. He's from 1985, and his alliance is Guardian. You could say he's got these just silver painted windows and these giant tires in the back. I think his transformation fairly similar. The arms pull out. Oh wait, doing this while reaching around a camera is not ideal, but you can see there's a bit of a different transformation. The legs pop down like that. The arms come down or off. Straight up off. Trying to find his head. There we go. There's his head. And this arm piece, I'm not going to try to reconnect. It just obviously popped off, and I think it goes into a piece here that kind of disappeared into the body, so we'll work on that later. But anyway, that's Street Heat. I don't like him as much. He's not too intriguing, but still, if you love sports cars, he's a cool one. Pop him around like that. I want to at least be able to fit him back in there. Yeah, see, it kind of pops on right there, I think. So if we can, there we go. Snap him back to place. Street Heat. And this, from the last video, we know him. That's an easy one. We've talked about him in my original video. That's Blue Torque. This is my childhood Blue Torque. Actually, I'm not for sure. I already forgot if I got a new one out of that package or not. We can flash back to it. But anyway, that's Blue Torque. I had this one as a kid, as I proved from that photo. And that's him. And he's cool. He's a blue sports car. And I'm not even going to take him out. We got a couple RPM 2s we saw when we opened up. That was the big one. That was the one from the previous video that I'll reference here. But the one where I was trying to figure out who this was. So we got a few RPM 2s. I think I have 4 of these now with 1 on card. So anyway, that's RPM 2. We'll leave him in there though. Okay, so the next one up, another 1984 Gobot called Blockhead from the Renegade Alliance. And I'm sure I'd get so nervous trying to transform some of these because they are old and they do tend to fall apart, and they will happily, if you try to bend it the wrong way, a lot of these will happily, you know, oblige you and bend the wrong way and then never bend back. So I might just pop up a picture of this guy because I just get nervous tugging on some of these parts. But anyway, that's Blockhead. He's a cement mixer, and he's pretty cool. Again, a fun alternative to a lot of the other alternatives we usually see. Blockhead. So next up, we have one from 1985. this helicopter here, who is known as Twin Spin. Gets his name, of course, from the two different sets of propellers you can put up here. And they did. I have them somewhere. I think I may have gotten one or two of the propellers, but I'm not sure where I put them. So we'll leave those alone for now. But this guy, legs pop down. Let's see this. See if I can find a picture of him real quick. Actually in his alt mode. Okay. So yeah, the legs are supposed to kind of come down like this. And I believe these bits slide out, yeah. Pop out like that. Again, these things have not been transformed in a while and it makes me nervous, but there, head pops down. And the legs, for the most part, I think that's just kind of how they're supposed to look. And he's a pretty cool robot, I guess. But definitely I prefer the alt mode for this guy. But anyway, that's Twin Spin. And he is pretty cool. We will try to quickly put him back. I think just kind of slide these up, right? There we go. Twin Spin. And so after Twin Spin, we have one from 1983. So this is an early bird. I believe that also puts him ahead of any of the Transformers, because as we know, the GoBots, actually, some of them came out a year early. So this guy's name is Screwhead, for obvious reasons. And, you know, if you need a tunnel through a mountain, I think this is probably your guy. A lot of black and gray. I kind of like the color for him. And he's kind of a funny, goofy transformation as well. I think typical sort of, okay, flop the legs down, feet come out, arms out. That's pretty easy. And there you go. That's Screwhead. And look at that face. Isn't that amazing? So Screwhead, that's a pretty cool guy. And that's a nice, easy transformation for quick play. That's what I always liked as a kid, right? You want them to ride up and then you want to do a quick little, you know, make your Transformers noises, even if they're not Transformers, and do a quick transformation. And this guy allows for that. And he looks cool. So we really like Screwhead. Okay, so the next guy we have here, let me open up his page. This is from 1984. This guy is called Spoons. And he was a renegade. And there must be some lore that I don't know from GoBots, because there is a variation. What kind of made this a little tough for me to identify, and I'll show, there's a variation called, I think, Every Time Spoons. And he's similar to this, but also different. He has, you know, kind of a forklift. And this seat will pop up, I think. Yeah, you can tell, like, it's ready to break if it isn't broken already. So we're just going to leave that there, but that seat is meant to pop up. And for science, we will go ahead and try the transformation, which shouldn't be too difficult. In general, just pop the arms out. Somehow pop the head up. Let's see. Oh, look, we got a little slider. That's convenient. So there's his face, or lack thereof. And these, I think, kind of, let's see. Somehow this has got to pop down. Again, I feel like I'm going to break them. There's no swiveling. Yeah, it's meant to slide forward. There we go. Slide forward like that. And I guess then you could pop his feet down. And there's basically your alt mode. I think this might be another one of those arms, yeah, where you can kind of slide them up. Twist them around a bit. They kind of lock in a little bit. But yeah, there you go. This guy is Spoons. He's a little awkward as a robot, but I like the colors. That's pretty awesome. And he's a forklift, which is also fun. Now let's try, what do we do again? Pop his legs back in, his arms, I guess. And this we slide back. out and up, and there we go. Spoons. Okay, next guy here, he's pretty busted. I'm not gonna actually try and transform him because these pieces are just kind of holding on. They're stuck together. I'll show a picture of him in his robot mode, but he's obviously a submarine and is cleverly named Dive Dive. Now, I love him. He's really cool. This is the kind of thing as a kid you probably took in the bathtub and then it rusted the next day and you could never play with it again, but he makes a really cool looking sub, and I think he's a lot of fun, but he has not held up well. So we're going to keep him just like this. And this video is so long, we're just going to keep moving, but Dive Dive. Okay. Next one we have here is, this guy is a van, obviously. He came out in 1985, and he's a Guardian, and he's missing a leg back here. And so, once again, I think I'll just show a picture of his robot mode, but his name is Vanguard. You know, because he's a van, and he probably guards things. And he's cool, but it kind of got a Skids vibe, where it's kind of a pretty generic-looking vehicle, but, you know, you still kind of love him anyway. But that's Vanguard. Okay, I love this next guy. This is a 1985 GoBot. He's a Renegade, and his name is Vamp, which is just the coolest name. And you can see he's this nice, spacey, spaceship-looking vehicle. He really looks cool in this mode. And I think he has kind of a creepy robot mode that we'll try and do now. I think, let's see. Yeah, look at this. Not a lot of work for him to transform. In fact, I'm not even sure if the arms, I think that's kind of all you get. Almost kind of looks like a bat or something, which, okay, Vamp, right? That makes sense. And by the way, if you're a GoBot expert and how I'm talking about these guys is just driving you nuts, I do apologize, but remember that I am not, and I'm not pretending to be, and there are plenty of channels out there that are absolutely wonderful, absolutely awesome. Folks who put in the research or put in the time or just know these guys really well and have made all sorts of great history videos on all of these different brands. And so they're out there, and I'm not trying to be that. I'm just a guy, you know, reliving my youth and enjoying some of the stuff I own and some of the stuff I never did, and just trying to collect and preserve. So that's all we're doing. And this guy is cool, Vamp. I mean, he's probably next to Tux. He's probably my second favorite. It's just such a unique look, and even the robot mode has got a nice creepy vibe to it. So Vamp I really like. Okay, next up we have a 1984 GoBot whose name is Waterwalk. And let me just get him fully transformed here. This is the general idea. These actually come forward like this, I think. Or somehow they're supposed to come forward like this. Maybe? Let's see. Yeah, these are supposed to be up. There we go. Kind of like that. So, you know, like a plane that can land on the water, that sort of thing. Water work. Again, another really cool alt mode. Something you don't see very often. And I really like this guy. He's got a cool look. And he transforms into a fairly standard robot, you know, as you can see here. These will kind of hide away in the back. The arms will come down, and you got yourself a nice little robot. And then pretty quickly, you can transform him back into the water plane. Bring the legs back up. There you go. That's Waterwalk. Pretty cool. I like this guy. But to make him fit in here, we're going to have to kind of put all this back. Put these back down. He will fit, but kind of got to scrunch him in a bit. Okay, so the next one up, this guy I picked up a while back. I think I even purchased him as a GoBot because I thought, oh, I want to buy some GoBots. Or maybe not. Maybe it was listed as a Zybot. I actually didn't go back to find that listing, but it is actually a Zybot. Snowcat. He's a snowplow. Pretty easy. You can see he's got that Zybot vibe to him. God bless him. Arms. I don't know where the arms or where the face is, but oh, maybe these are the arms. Oh, I'm gonna bet. There we go. Look at him. He almost transformed himself back. He's so ashamed. I'm just kidding. He's beautiful. That's Snowcat, and he's a Zybot. But we're going to put him back in here because he fits. And I like him there. So he's going to stay there. Okay, so the final regular-sized Gobot we have is Leader 1 from 1983, this guy. Another 1983 one. And we love our Jets, don't we? Just look at this guy. He was a Guardian, and he's really cool. Leader 1. He's a Jet. He still holds up pretty well. He feels pretty solid. And like I say, this is a 1983 one, so that's pretty cool. Transformation, kind of typical. Let's see, I think these are going to pull down and apart for his legs. And his arms are going to just kind of pop out there. And there you go. Not necessarily Starscream, but still for a 1983 Gobot, this guy is pretty cool. And like I say, we love our Jets. And in alt mode, this thing is awesome. This could just pass for like a nice like Matchbox or Tonka Jet on its own. I mean, it's really cool. So anyway, that's Leader 1. Really like this guy. But yeah, all in all, of these regular ones, I have to say, definitely my favorite is Tux. He's just cool. I don't know what it is, but he looks awesome. And a close second is Vamp down here. I like the look here, and I like that he turns into basically this really weird looking bat. So I like him a lot. So anyway, that's the regular Gobots. For now, they're going to stay in here until we build a nice display somewhere for them. But those are the regular size. Now we'll move on to a few of the Super Gobots we got. Okay, now moving on to the Super Gobots. We picked up 3 of those. And by the way, there is, well, first, let's just have something to look at. And that's Destroyer, the first one. Look at this guy. But there apparently is a Vamp Super Gobot, which I love Vamp so much. I would actually kind of like to see what that's like. He looks very similar. And so I'm just going to have to look him up online and see. But I might be interested in that. Anyway, this is our first Super Gobot, and I haven't planned to transform these guys, but I'll give it a shot, I think, because they are bigger and heftier. Well, one of them I know I'm not going to be able to transform, actually. He's just, the die cast is just old and kind of locked in place, and I really don't want to mess with it. That might actually be the case for all 3. If I can, I apologize in advance, and we'll just show photos. But this is Destroyer 1. He's a really cool-looking tank, and they're solid. They just feel so solid to hold. These comes out, and I think he came with 2 different types of guns that you could put in there. It seems like this kind of pops up. Look at this. Look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. He's got kind of a short circuit number 5 alive vibe, right? And then it looks like there's no face. This just goes back in, and he kind of becomes just the most terrifying thing of all, which is just, you know, a tank with arms and legs. And I'm trying to figure out how to get to his arms at this point. It's got to be something here, but I can't stress enough how, like, stiff these guys are. So if there's some way to pop these arms out, either they're just too old to do it. It looks like right here. Yeah, okay. Here we go. That pops down. Oh, look at that. Hidden away. Okay, so these are kind of super, and a little more complexity than I think we would expect for Gobots, but they are super. So the idea is these are supposed to pop out, and they're a little finicky. But there we go. There's one arm. There's another. So let's just turn his face around. And look at that. Would you rather have him coming at you in tank mode? Or would you like him just walking up to you like this? That's insane. That's crazy. You can even drop the hands down like this. Exterminate. I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. Anyway, that's Destroyer. That's Super Gobot number 1. He's pretty cool. Super Gobot number 2. I'm not going to try and transform, but he came out in 1984. His name is Zemon. And he is very cool. Like, what I will do eventually is clean him up as best I can. I think there's, you know, like I said, he's even got a little driver in there. He shows wear of time, but I think he also has some marks and things that could probably be cleaned up. So I will try to clean him up. He has no tires. So if any of y'all know, like, if there's an option, if there's a way, I'm sure there is some sort of way to get aftermarket tires that would fit this guy. That would be kind of fun. You can see he kind of starts to pop around. I just don't want to mess with him too much because, like, the legs, I don't know. I said I wasn't going to, but here we go. Oh, you can just feel like that's like dirt falling out of him when I do this. So somehow, I'll pull up the picture here. Yeah, he's not supposed to look too, like, this is legitimately supposed to be his head. And I think the arms, yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're going to get him tried. Ew. Ew. Okay. I don't know what that was that just fell out of it, but it was disgusting. And I don't even want to look at it. It's in my floor. It looks like dead skin or a tooth, and I don't want to talk about it. So we're going to move on. Anyway, so this is the general idea. Wait, the legs. Oh, God. I'll pop them down. I feel gross now, and I don't want to touch it, but for science, y'all, I don't know. Okay, there we go. All right, there comes one leg. And here comes another one. So you could see there was more complexity with these guys. And when they first came out, they probably still felt pretty good. I think somehow maybe this head could come forward a bit. I'm not sure how. Maybe it's meant to slide. Oh, there we go. All right, so there you go. There is Zmon Super Gobot. That's pretty cool. I'll try to put them back together later. I'm going to pause and vacuum up my floor without looking at it and try not to vomit. And then we'll move on to the next one. Zmon. Okay, y'all, we're back. And I'm going to show you the third and final one, which is absolutely my favorite. This is the helicopter. His name is Warpath. He's a 1985 Renegade, and he is awesome. I want to show a picture because it looks like someone never put any stickers on this guy. I'm missing the propeller, probably missing a few other parts, and there are no stickers. But regardless, I can confirm this is, in fact, a Super Gobot named Warpath. Once again, we will try to do a quick conversion here. Literally, what do we always do first? You just start tugging on things to see what gives, right? And that's what I'm doing. I think maybe these pop out. There we go. All right, legs. There's a head. Pop these down. And he's got little, looks like he's meant to have stubby little fists. If he had a propeller, I think that would be right. That would stay right there on his chest. I think, yeah, I guess that's kind of it. Maybe these pop out to give him knee. Oh, that's probably landing gear, actually. Okay, so let's stay inside. So there is his his robot form. It's not the best, but as a jet, he looks really cool. Like I say, he's missing some parts. He's missing, you know, there was his feet. We probably could have popped out. He's missing stickers and he's missing parts, so he could look a lot cooler. But that's John. And when this originally came out, if you had one of these brand new, I'm not even sure what's supposed to. Looks like maybe you could attach something here. Maybe that's to work with others. Doesn't look like anything came with it, but that's interesting. He looks awesome, and I'm sure if you're brand new out of the package, this guy was just amazing. And if you weren't super lazy, you would have put stickers on him and made him even cooler. But you know, I guess it's optional. So anyway, that's our final Super Gobot. And what's his name? Warpath, right? Warpath. And by the way, guys, I never found that thing that fell on my floor, and I don't want to talk about it. All right, moving on. Our final kind of fun Gobots that I wanted to keep separate. I'll show you those now. So we all remember the quickest and easiest and tastiest way back in the day to get Transformers was, of course, in Happy Meals, right? So, okay, my angle's a little weird for this, but McDonald's, Happy Meals, toys, Transformers, these guys were awesome. Remember these guys? I got a few of these lying around, and they're really cool. But we're not talking about them today. These are guys I already own. The other Gobots I got, which I don't remember ever happening, Wendy's had to deal with the Gobots. So we got 4 of these guys. I think there were 6 total. In fact, I'm going to show the commercial right now if I can find it. But we got 4 of them. There were 6 total, and they're pretty cool.
Wendy's presents a Mighty Gobot offer for your kids. Mighty Gobots have come to Wendy's. 6 special edition Gobots, 99 cents each with any purchase.
So number 1 is Oddball. And I think all of these are going to be pretty basic transformations. Flop the head around, right? It's a toy you got with your Wendy's meal. So pretty basic, but also pretty cool. That's Oddball. The second one we got, kind of reminds me of Spacey, is Guide Star. Little space shuttle clone here. Again, I think we just, that might be literally all you do. I don't know if the arms pop out or anything. Let me check out the picture and see here. Nothing to find, but pops up and he kind of becomes a robot. I don't see any way to pop out arms or anything, so I think that's it. But again, these were Wendy's version of Happy Meal toys, so it's kind of all you get there. Understandable. And number 3 is Skyfly, and this guy's pretty cool looking. Look at that, Skyfly. And what year was this? So this was 1985 that this happened. So again, pops up. He has some arms. We can pop out some arms on him. Not too bad. Skyfly. And my favorite is Breeze. Look at this guy. How cool is that? These don't spin very well, but nice little helicopter here. They can pop off, I think. And again, pull them down, pop the arms out. I think that's kind of, looks like something. Let's see. Does this move in some way? Maybe, maybe not. That really looks like this wants to move. Oh, here we go. Okay. I don't know why. I guess that'll prop him up. Can we confirm that maybe? No. Anyway, that's his alt mode, his robot mode. I guess you could, in theory, put these on here for some reason. He could do circus tricks. But there you go. Did anybody ever get these when they were kids? Did anybody ever get Gobots from Wendy's? If you did, that's kind of cool. But there you go. There's your Wendy's Gobots. And I think that also ends our Gobots. So next we'll move through the Zybots. As we've discussed before, things get a little trickier with Gobots. There's not, at least anywhere I can find, just a list of every single one of them that came out. So instead, we kind of have to work with what we have. And that is essentially doing things like Zybot Black Truck, right? And finding things like this. So as you remember, we got like 3 of these guys. And his name is Trek, I believe. And we got, you know what? We're going to have to, let's do this. There we go. We did get one back for him, and I believe the way it works is this can actually pull out a bit. Maybe we already did that with this one. And if you pull the legs or the back of the truck out enough, you can kind of snap this on. Snap it into place and get your semi. That's the general idea of it. But the legs come out farther. Yeah, well, like these. See that? They can slide really far out for some reason. But so then you can put, ideally you put this, snap this onto the back. And then you can kind of push it forward a bit. But it is finicky. It is really finicky. There we go. Nope. Definitely doesn't want to stay, but then you can kind of slide it forward, and there you go. There you have your like proper tractor trailer truck. So we'll leave him here. And it's a Zybot, so pretty basic transformation, pretty basic body and face. You know, you always have the random sort of colors, and like it's just completely random. A lot of them, their bodies are like this. They didn't put as much thought into the bodies of them. They kind of gave them sort of a face and then just some fun colors along the way, but not too much. But anyway, we got 3 of these guys, so we have a nice little fleet, and that guy's name is Trek. Next up, another one we got 3 of is this little bulldozer here called Earthbreaker, I believe. We got 3 of them. There they are. They're very basic primary colors, yellow, red, and black. And pop them down. Arms pop out, presumably. But anyway, same thing, kind of a face. This guy's a little bit more of a face, but then you just have sort of the random various colors on the chest and legs just to suggest robot, I guess. And again, I don't hate it. These guys would work right into my play with other guys when I was a kid, and they were a more viable option sometimes when you didn't have a lot of money. And by the way, notice the color variation. This is absolutely the same mold and same guy, but I think, and I might be able to show that, I think in packages there were like 2 versions just to change up the color for some reason, maybe completely randomly, but there were 2 different versions, but it's basically the same guy. So that's Earthbreaker. Next up, another really cool one actually is Mach 1, who is, as you can see, United States Air Force F-16. And he's a pretty cool mold. We will try to transform him. He is really plasticky, and he really feels finicky. My guess is this somehow, yeah, okay, maybe the wings should have gone back first, or maybe they go back like this. Or I'm looking at a photo, and it looks like they twist up. I don't know if these yeah, well, okay, they twist. But so I think they're meant to be behind the arm, so maybe there's a right and wrong way to do this, right? Let's get this other arm up and out of the way. Put the wing back, get the arm in. There we go. They fold back and the arm can come out a little bit. The legs somehow split apart. There we go. And also twist around like that. So, and this somehow, oh, I guess it twists around, up and around maybe. There we go. Okay, surprisingly a little bit more work to this guy for the robot form, but there's the general idea. And you can pop the wings back out, make him look pretty cool. For what he is, you know, they put a decent bit of work into him. So he makes a serviceable robot when you want to transform him, and not too bad, but that's Mach 1. And next we have a pretty cool chopper whose name is Chopper. And I think we're missing a piece here. There should have been the window here for the cockpit. We're missing that. As far as transformations go, I think, yeah, these are going to come down for legs. That's going to pop back like that. We got some arms that'll pop out. And then I think kind of like Tux, we got another sort of peekaboo head. There we go. So that's his robot form. Not the best, but you know, sort of a robot. I don't know. The robot form is as not good as the helicopter form is good. Like, I really like the helicopter. I probably would have kept this guy in his alt mode most of the time. If I can put him back together here. Let's see. Oh, up here. There we go. That's pretty cool. He is missing the part here, but otherwise, that's Chopper. Not too bad. Next up, we have Pickup. And guess what he is? Yep, he's a pickup truck. And he's missing a part here. He's missing a tire / I'm assuming arm. But he is, let's see how we can transform him. I think the alt mode, I feel like these should fly. Whoa, look at that. Is that meant to pop out maybe? Yeah, we can pop those out. I don't know if we're supposed to or not, but looks like, I don't know, y'all. It seems like this is supposed to, yeah, pop back like that. This one's not really wanting to pop out. There we go. We got an arm here. And I don't know. I think that might be the face. I don't know. This is pretty janky. He's a lot like Wrecker here. Wrecker was another truck we got, I believe, also a Zybot. And kind of works the same way. Legs come out that way, arms pop out, and maybe this slides up a bit. There, we get a bit more of a robot face with this guy, but there you go. That's Wrecker. So we got these two trucks, Pickup and Wrecker, serviceable, but not super exciting. But anyway, there they are. Next up, I mentioned before, I don't need to talk too much more about, but we have our Zybot watch here, which we need to get a battery for. This would have been a very basic digital watch with a wristband that you could wear on your arm and pop him off and do a couple things to kind of make him look like a robot. Let's see. You know, these pop down, come out, and look at that. You got a little robot watch. He's pretty cool. If you were 7 or 8, you know, this would be a fun thing to wear on your wrist. You know how you would have those toys that you could, like a watch like this, that you could wear to school and totally not get in trouble for having it, and then sneakily at your desk when the teacher wasn't paying attention, you could actually turn it into a proper little toy. And it would just be the best day, right? Anything to distract, anything from the boredom of school. Something like this would have been great. So anyway, that's the watch. And my gosh, I forgot his name, and I'm not going to look it up, but I'll look it up and stick it up here on the screen. But that's the Zybot watch. Okay, so remember this weird thing? I couldn't figure out what this was. It definitely had the vibe of being a GoBot, but there wasn't much to it, right? Well, eventually I was able to do like a reverse Google image search to find this guy, and it turns out he's a Tootsie Toy / GoBot, and he was a bubble pipe. So these guys actually came, like a lot of toys in the 80s, when you blew bubbles, it came with the bubble liquid, right, that you would somehow load up in it and then blow in here and out come your bubbles. So that's what he was. And there are pictures of the packages, so I'll pop up one on the screen right here, right now, to show you what I'm talking about. But it was a GoBots bubble pipe. Kind of cool. Would have been a lot of fun in the summer, but this is all he does. So he's really just, he's not going to transform into anything much beyond that. But, you know, I could see that would have been a lot of fun back in the day. But anyway, that explains what that guy is. Okay, so last but not least, we have a few of the weirdos who are actually kind of awesome in their own way. The first one, which I thought might have been a GoBot at first, again, had kind of the look, actually turns out to be a converter. Remember converters, right? And his name was Tentacus. So along the same line as the GoBots and Transformers in the 80s, there were other lines of transforming robots as well. And there were the converters lines. And up until now on the channel, I haven't really talked about any because I didn't have any. But I can show you the packaging for this guy, and I think he's just like really creepy looking. Now, as far as the feel, like he is really janky and really loose. Makes for a fairly easy conversion. Everything kind of just pops out and pops into place, which is cool. And so there you see, there he is as his spider, but his name is Tentacus, Killer Spider, and he's a converter. And so that would be the first converter I actually have in my collection. And honestly, I think he's pretty cool. I'm arachnophobic, so I'll have to hide him in the back of the shelf somewhere. But anyway, that's what he is, Tentacus, and pretty cool. But yeah, it did take me, it was another reverse Google image search to find this guy. Next up, we have this MC toy here. And some of you who are experts may already recognize the name and the line. I have to admit, I'm still having a bit of trouble fully getting the historical context for this. I am finding things like it was a motorized robot toy train. I think it's a pullback deal where originally, you know, I think you probably got some springs that, yeah, you can hear it actually. It's meant to be a pullback train. You pull back and it takes off on you, right? It does seem to have some transforming qualities, or at least, you know, this pops out, right? I'm not sure what else. Yeah, it's definitely a transformer. The head pops up, body pops out. We got legs. And actually, this is the first time I'm fully transforming it, but I'm also seeing Dinobot, and so I'm going to have to do the research, and hopefully by the time I post this, I will have done all the research to know. I remember Dinobot's the name. I don't know if an MC toy is in fact also a Dinobot. If it was a collab, I don't know. I'll try to do the research and find out. If I don't, I'll put a big question mark here, and you all can help me out in the comments, because I know the folks who watch this will know a lot more about a lot of this stuff than I do. But anyway, not a Gobot, not a Zybot. This is Dinobot, maybe, but definitely an MC toy because it's right there on there. And it would have been a pullback train. You pull him back and he would shoot off across your table into the floor. And he did transform into a robot, and a pretty cool looking one too. So I actually kind of like this guy. And it's the first of his kind that I'll have in my collection. So here's another MC toy that I only know by looking at the bottom of it. I think you might be able to read that. It says MC toy on it. This is not a robot at all. It's more like a, I don't think it transforms into anything else. It's a three-wheeler, you know, sort of RV type vehicle. And it feels more like a Hot Wheel or a Tonka or something like that. And it might have also been maybe a pullback as well. I'm not for sure, but not too much I can find on the internet on this. So again, another one that if you know more about, let me know. But it's definitely another MC toy. Okay, so next up, we have this red excavator. And I'm just going to keep this one as a mystery because I can't find him. I don't see Gobot. I don't see Zybot for this guy. He could be, I'm trying to see if there's a marking on him somewhere. I can't really find anything, but we got to have some mysteries, right? So what I will say is look at this face. That's amazing. That's a pretty cool face for this thing. A little terrifying, but this guy I couldn't figure out. I don't know what he is. He's got, you know, that generic sort of Zybot look to him, but I can't necessarily find him anywhere. He's obviously pretty beaten up, but he was a changing, transforming toy of some kind. I just can't figure out what he is. So if anyone knows, let me know. Okay. Last but not least was this orange car that I struggled with quite a bit. And it's clearly there are pieces missing, there are wheels missing, but as you can see, it's definitely meant to be some kind of transformer. It took a lot of image searches and things like that to eventually find this. And what it turns out that this guy is a Matchbox parasite.
From Halley's Comet come the parasites.
They hide in cars and trucks.
We'll hide here.
Nemesyte the hunter. You can't hide from him.
I feel like we're being watched.
So these guys came out in 1985. So clearly trying to get on the whole converters, converting toys bandwagon, right, with some of their own stuff. I'm going from memory right now. I'm not even sure how to transform him, but clearly he looks cool and does some cool things. I think maybe, you know, we're going for some sort of grasshopper type thing here. But I think I have a picture of this box and in the box that we can kind of go on. But anyway, this was actually really cool to me. I'd forgotten that these things even existed. Not sure if I ever knew they existed. But the general idea was, somehow I think their storyline was that a comet came down and crashed into Earth and created these parasites. And there were several of them. And they look pretty cool. I don't know how many there were, how long the line lasted. But as you can see from this guy in the car mode, he's pretty awesome, which makes sense because Matchbox made, you know, they were kind of the king on that. They made really cool cars. It's die cast and solid and really neat. And clearly very played with because a lot of parts are broken off of it. But anyway, that's what this last guy was. And he's actually really cool. And it was a sort of moment in time of Matchbox trying to have their own little converter toys. And they had their own storyline, you know, going behind it. And as you can see, this one at least is pretty cool. So it'll be a fun line to look into again. But with that, I think we have covered everything that we opened from the packages. So I think we can end the video here. I'm sure it was way too long, and I apologize for that. you know, I hope you skipped around, found some things that were interesting to you. However you watched, I appreciate however much time you put into this video, if any at all, and I appreciate all comments. And yeah, please like this video if you can, and subscribe so other people can see it. And as long as you continue to enjoy this type of stuff, I'll keep making it. Keep trying to add to the transforming and other 80s toys community on YouTube. It's just, I like looking back at this stuff. I like the nostalgia of the things I owned, and also just the history of it and the things I didn't know, and seeing what else was out there like this. It's kind of a fun discovery to make. So anyway, that's it for this video, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day.